So yeah, I first got involved with chess boxing back in 2013. I've been training with a little bit of, but I'd just begun to train in boxing. I trained in different martial arts throughout my life. I did, a bit of taekwondo when I was a kid, and I'd been doing some kickboxing in my sort of 20s and into my 30s just to keep myself fit. Um, because of my job, I spend long hours sat at a computer. So I was trying to find a way of doing something physical that was very different from my world of being sat in a virtual world all day. Yeah, so I'd been playing chess for a very short time, and then I don't know. I think probably like a lot of people, I had the Wu-Tang Clan Mystery of Chess Boxing that had been on my playlist for many years, and I was learning chess, I was learning boxing, and I just Googled the two things together, and London chess boxing came up, and I thought, okay, this looks interesting. This is somewhere I can learn both things at once. So just started turning up there on a Saturday morning. Yeah, so I'd been curious to test myself about how I could handle myself in a physical fight. And Tim said, "Oh, do you want to sign up for competing in chess boxing?" And I thought, wow, okay, this sounds great. I'm learning both. I want to test myself in both. So I think within 3 months of starting at the club, I'd had I competed in my first fight at Scala. I've had a great journey because I've had some spectacular wins and some spectacular losses. Probably my best boxing win was against Steve Phelps in 2015, only because that's the only one I've won by a TKO. There's an amazing photo of me stood with my arms raised and him on his knees after he took this body shot and him not being able to get up, and Ronaldo kind of waving it off. And in the background on the front row were all of my friends who are in the front row just going mental. I think it's the greatest photo I've ever had taken of me, and I want that to be on my tombstone. Everything in that, all the drama of that entire bout was captured in that one photo. And then there is Dan Mayfield, who has sort of become my nemesis. Dan sent me a call out video, which was kind of cute. But I make videos and graphics for a living, so I just came back at him with lots more reply videos, and it became a little bit of a thing of us trolling each other back and forth. It was a very close match. I completely dominated him in the boxing, and then I assumed I was going to lose in the chess. I thought there's no way I can beat him, so I'm just going to slow play the chess, make sure I don't make any mistakes. And I ended up in a position where I could either force a draw in like one more repeat move, or I think I had a checkmate in about two or three moves, but I just bled my clock out at that point, so I lost on time. I couldn't really retire without that one having been avenged. Um, so then yeah, I got to have a rematch with him last December. So again, just a lot of me just trying to wind him up as much as possible with sending him call out videos and silly little animations and just trying to push his buttons. And um, I I got very little back from him, which made me suspect he was probably focusing his energy on actually training quite a lot. That was the case because he came out and his boxing had definitely improved. But that first match showed me that once he's fought a couple of rounds of boxing, his chess is terrible. Well, no, it's not terrible. We're about on an equal level. So I just wanted him to basically come out and burn himself out, and it worked because he sort of was quite exhausted from the boxing rounds, and I stayed focused on the chess and beat him in the chess, which was the sweetest victory I could have hoped for. For me, half the fun was just making call out videos to each other and just trolling each other, because I have absolutely no qualms about telling him what a silly man that I think he is. And so I really there's very few people in this world that I genuinely take pleasure in winding up, but he's one of them. So it was great. It was good motivation and fuel for getting me in shape for the fight. So if he comes at me with a really good call out video, then I might consider it. But other than that, it's got to be a no. I'm 46 years old now. I've got to think about my brain cells and all that sort of thing.